Good morning, guys. How's everybody over on YouTube doing today? Oh, I apologize. I wanted to make sure and squeeze this in today, but ran a little bit behind this morning. Had to make sure I had some more coffee to keep me going through the video. So I'm just gonna pick out my beads. Maybe you guys can assist with that a little bit. That'd be fun. Love having everybody's input on that kind of stuff. So we'll let everybody get settled in. And actually, for those of you that didn't see the preview or are just like happening upon this tutorial, we are sharing a beaded bead tutorial today. So I will show this under the camera facing down closer up, but like the stud pyramid, the center part of that is a stitched beaded bead that we're going to be sharing with you guys today. Hey, Deb. You're here for the chaos, huh? Oh my gosh, you guys, go check out our good friend Deb Floros. Deb Loves Jewelry over on her YouTube page. She has an Etsy store with all her gorgeous designs that she makes, and she is far more organized than I am. So you guys get to just like look at my back while I try to figure out what kind of colors I'm in the mood to work with today. Ooh, there's some bright pink. That might be fun. Of course, who knows what color seed beads I'd use with it. Let's see. I don't know. Maybe I'm not feeling that colorful. Oh, hi, Sheila. Deb, chaos and coffee. That is pretty much what's happening here. So I'm setting up a little different today. I'm over on the other side of my desk. Hopefully the sun behaves. Got really good natural light, but like it's intense. So I'm going to try to get this tutorial in before my sun encroaches on my workspace, because once the actual like sunlight's directly shining on it, it will not be very visible anymore. And I'm going to get in here with my second camera for you guys so you can see the workspace. Of course, that means that I have to actually get it to face the correct direction. Oh yeah, that's bright. Okay. We won't be needing the extra light I've got over there, that's for sure. So we'll get us all arranged here. Good morning. Watching for a bit before heading out to doctor's appointment. Hi, Sue. All right. Well, I'm just going to make sure that this camera is actually facing the direction we want it to be. It's still very much in the sun, but I guess I can continue to play with that part of it now that I've got the other portion worked out. You guys don't usually get to see this part where I'm like working back and forth with stuff until it will function properly. Okay, that's gonna just have to be the same. Okay. Oh, and then there it is, just right in the mix there. So it looks incredibly dark because the sun is so bright behind it, but partially I think I need to turn the volume up on my screen too. So that should be good for what we're working on today. That's funny that the shadow makes it look so much darker than it actually is, but I don't know. Maybe we will work off into the sun a little bit. We'll have the option this way. So, how is everybody doing today? Ooh, I know what colors I'm working with. Done and done. The supply list. I was going to show you guys that, and I got distracted by all my viewers. So there's two parts to the supply list. The beaded bead itself, which is the only thing we're going to show in this tutorial. And now that you're facing it, I'll bring it up into the light for you. So this is the beaded bead. I've got it sandwiched between two beads here, which holds it in place perfectly. It has a very large hole. You could also string something inside of it over your cord or wire, but you can also string it over pipe chain and other silver silk products. So that is a great way to deal with, it's not really a problem per se, but if you view it as a problem. And oh man, I grabbed these turquoise stud beads, but I thought I knew I was going to use this fire polish with them. I'm going to probably use that pearl I just flashed in front of you guys. So on your supply list for the 2-hole, or for the beaded bead rather, you are looking at some size 11, 8, and 15 seed beads, all 3 sizes for this. And then you also are going to want some 3mm fire polish, or I'm pulling out these pearls. I think this is going to be fun. And that is the only thing aside from your 10-pound wildfire thread that you're going to need for your beaded bead. And then we'll talk about the bracelet once we get into the full swing of this here. So I'm going to cut a yard, even though of the thread, that probably is enough for like 2 beads, I would guess. But this way we'll have plenty. And then I have to figure out my colors. I kind of want just like some neutral, don't you guys think, like a neutral metallic with these pearls and the turquoise would be nice. I do declare a very bent needle in front of me that I'm going to be using because Cassandra did not prep as much as she should have. But for anyone that doesn't follow our social media daily, we are in the depths of moving our retail location right now. We're going from, we're only about 5 minutes away from where our original storefront was located. We're still operating out of there right now. We're at 145 South Mechanic Street, but we're doing work on our new building. We've been moving things out of our storage unit that had more inventory than our retail space does, because it's all back stock and website inventory, so it's organized differently. And you can pack a little bit more into your space when you're looking at that. But yeah, it's been a lot, and it's not looking like it's gonna slow up anytime soon. So we have, I'm gonna try not to freak myself out, 2.5 more weeks, almost 3 more weeks in our current space. Hey, Becky, good morning. The other thing I'm working on today, speaking of Becky, are orders. Thank you so much, guys. Last week was a frenzy of bead chaos when it comes to the ordering. So we're super grateful for that because we really need it right now with the move. But of course, with how busy everything is, I'm at my full week turnaround for getting orders back out to people. So I appreciate everybody's patience for sure. Finding one more seed bead for our project here, and then we can get going. I think this one, yes. Okay. Didn't stick to metallics at all, but that's fine. So as we were talking about, we're working with what is now included in your seed bead subscription, which are, well, these are 3 of the 4 different sizes of seed beads. So I've got a 15, an 11, and an 8. And these are part of our regular inventory. So not all of our seed beads are back on the website after the great migration of last year. We've had a lot of change, but if there's a color combination you're interested in those different sizes, don't hesitate to reach out. And then just looking for my bead scoop. There it is. That way I can bring these up to the camera. So I've got some of our new pearls, which are listed on the website. We've got these iridescent colors. This is the white in the 3mm. And this is one of the curated collections studs or pyramids from last year. So we used that bead all throughout last year. So we have at least 14 colors listed on our website now of that shape, maybe even more. But I think these are going to be really pretty together. And then again, about a yard of that 10-pound wildfire. And that will be probably enough for more than one bead. But we're going to just take it one step at a time here. I'm looking to see how I did something. Okay, I think I'm remembering now. Like, I did something to speed up the process at one point, but I can't remember what the change was. Now I do. Because as you make more than one of something, you usually adjust your design as you go. And if you're a designer, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So on that thread, it doesn't matter which hole you go through on your first stud, but then if you line them up with the hole sitting like left and right facing you, oh, no, my camera's stuck. There we go. You'll want to make sure and be consistent and always go through the right hole or always go through the left hole with the stud portion facing up. So I just go through the right. That's my default. And then a size 8 seed bead. So I've got one stud and one size 8. And then another stud, 8. And pyramid is an acceptable name for them as well. Stud is just shorter and quicker. So you want a total of 3 of each of those beads on your needle and push those down your thread until you have about a 4-inch tail. You're just going to use that tail to tie a knot between the tail end and the needle end of your thread. So we're just that's gonna create like a circle formation with your beads, and you want to ultimately cross over again with that tail. So you see how you've got your little loop formed, and then a knot, because you want that to be, oh no, I lost my size 8. There should be 8s between all of your studs. And mine slipped down my, I don't know if you can see it floating on camera there. Slipped down my thread there, so that's awesome. This is a sign that it is going to be a completely and utterly true Monday, guys. So if you're out there, watch out. It's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, let's try this again. I do these things so you guys know what not to do. All right, there. That's what they look like. Oh, dear. I'm trying so careful to show you guys the knot that I totally lost the bead off of. But did you see I was able to just pull that knot out, slide that bead down, and kind of start over. So then that's what it looks like there. Now, I'm going to go through the closest 8 and stud that I already have previously put thread through. And then I'm going to go backwards, but through the open hole of that stud. Because now I'm going to put size 8 seed beads through in between those other beads, or the other holes, sorry. So you should have like an open hole, that part's flopping out on each stud. And we're going to just fill those holes. Sorry, I've got a lot of congestion you know, it's really perfect to get the sickest you've been in like 2 years while you're trying to move your home or your business. It's highly recommended. 0 stars, 2 thumbs down. Now, you can see that the thread's kind of gapping there. I'm going to go through a couple more beads now that I've like come all the way around my circle here. And then I'm going to pull that all really taut. And I'm going to go backwards again through this part. It's like you wouldn't have to do any specific reinforcing. Reinforcing in general is just good because you're going to deal with some slack in your work if you don't. So I'm going back over to that first side of where I started stringing from, but I'm coming out of a size 8. That's the important part, no matter where you're at in that bead. So with your 15s, it could change based on brand, but we're going to do 4 of each 15, or 4 15s on each side of our 11. So you're going to string a total of 9 beads. You're going to do 4 of the size 15s, a size 11, and then 4 more 15s. So that is what you're going for. And then on the same edge of the closest pyramid, but we're going to work around in a circle again. We're going to go through the next 8. We're going to skip the pyramid, but your beads are going to sit along the side of that. Whoop. And this is going to help with your tension. And then you're also going to, I just realized I should make not my face bigger. There we go. I'm going to get my camera or my light, secondary light, a little closer there too. So you see how those beads sit? That's what you're going for, because then when you look at the top, it like hugs the edge of that project. Now, when you get to this point, you can pop one of those pearls on your needle and go through this size 8. So you're coming out of this one over here, going this way, and you're going to go the opposite direction through the other size 8 in the same section. This is going to add additional tension and support to your bead. Take some of the pressure off of the middle where the thread is going through the 2-hole beads. And then one more 3mm, and we're going to go back through the same size 8 we started from. This just does a nice job of covering space that would otherwise show a little bit more than we would like it to. And they're going to continue around this edge of your project. We've got 4 more 15s, an 11, and 4 more 15s here. And we're going to go through the next open size 8 on the current side of the bead. Yeah, so the whole tirade about being sick while you're moving was in reference to the fact that I am still very congested, although I am very much recovered. And I have a feeling too, it's warming up a lot here in Michigan, like unseasonably. We've got one more 3mm going through this other 8. And I have a feeling that the warm up is not helping with the congestion and probably some allergies too. And then one more 3mm. Thanks, Becky. I'm so excited for all the ways that we can use this beaded bead. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So the only difference between this edge of your bead and the other edge is that when you go around the other edge with your 15s and 11s, you don't have to continue to do those 3mm at the center of your joints because you will already have those beads on there. But I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to put the last set of 3mm on. It's a good word for that, the joint. So where the the edges of the 2-hole beads are meeting where your 8s are. The holes show because of the way they sit. And these 3mm just do a really nice job of covering that. Oh, Becky. Tree allergies are full blown there, she says. All right. So you want to end by coming out of a size 8 on this side that does not have the seed bead embellishment, because you want to be in a position to add the seed beads along the side of your beaded bead. And these would make really fun, like you could just float them over the silver silk cords or a piece of leather or another kind of bracelet or necklace. They are just very versatile. I think they'd make good end caps or tops for a tassel because the hole's nice and big and you could like use that to hide some things inside of. And it's one of those potato chip projects. I have a feeling we're all going to make a few color combinations. Oh, I'm so happy with these colors, though. Sometimes waiting until the last minute to make decisions is a good thing. Oh, I get to go, speaking of decisions, I get to go pick out some paint for my new building inside. We're not gonna fuss with the outside just yet. We're gonna make sure we can open our doors as quickly as possible indoors, and then we'll have some fun on the outside. So this is what it looks like when you've completed an edge of this bead. This is what your sides will all look like, both the pyramid and the joint. And there goes my camera again. And then while we're close up still, I will show you guys a good, I'm just gonna go through a handful of beads and I'm gonna come out next to a bigger bead. So with these knots, I don't like to come out where I'm facing a 15 because it might not be as easy to hide my knot from my thread, but I'm coming out of a 15 facing an 11. You could be facing an 8 or a 3mm. You just don't want to be facing a 15 probably. So you're going to go under the thread with your needle, and then you're going to take that and make a loop, and you're going to go through the loop. This is when you're all done with the project and you're ready to knot it off. And then one more. Hi, Elizabeth. And one more knot. You guys should all have your curated collections in hand and be able to make some of these beads for yourself. And then use a good pair of scissors. Once you go through a few more beads, I went through that 11 and a few more 15s, and then you can trim that. And this is already knotted, your tail, and you can make another knot if you want to, but with something like this project, you're not going to be putting a lot of tension on that knot of your thread. So you should be safe. And then you've got, oh, such a cute little, it's nothing incredibly hard or fancy, but I think it really is something that's going to be a good addition to your projects. And as you can see, again, so let's talk about the other supplies. I'm gonna flip over to my other area here. So in the bracelet, I've got the beaded beads, of course. I put 2 in. I think I've got 3 different sizes of wire. So I've got a 22 gauge wire. That's not right. What did I use? Well, 22 or 24 gauge would work for these spots. I think I used a 20 or 22 gauge. in a single bead. So like this spot and this spot are probably a 20 gauge. I am going to edit that because I think it's important for you guys to know. Last night I was just going off of my standard, what I normally use. But so where you're just doing a regular wire wrap on a glass check bead or like this bundle, I use a 20 gauge on those. You want it to be sturdy enough to hold up, especially when you're like lining up beads this way. This part, what I strung through the pipe chain is an 18 gauge. I've got another video where I shared something like this, just making the wired portion of the pipe chain. This is all one piece of pipe chain. Nile at Silver Silk has a demo tutorial video for this technique where you wrap the beads around the pipe chain. And I use 24 gauge in this spot. So that is, there are 3 different sizes of wire in here. And then, as you can see, the shape of these beads tapers on the edges. It's not a bicone. You could definitely use like an 8mm bicone, I bet, with these beaded beads. But if you're doing something like this, you do need something to fill the hole because the hole is fairly large on that bead. And not only is it large in the center, but then you've got the edges that kind of cup out almost like a reverse end cap where the 15s are around. So you do have to kind of be mindful of that too. But I need to add the clasp on this. It would go really good with my outfit today, so I should do that. But this is intended to just have a jump ring and a clasp at the end. And I just wanted it to be eclectic and fun because these beads are so fun and vibrant when you use the brighter colors. So that was the inspiration behind this bracelet. And to be honest, I didn't think through the fact that the beads would even fit over a larger cord at first. It just kind of like happened. So that was also not an accident, but this design came out of that realization. That's what we'll say about it. So that, let's see, I think I covered, so in Nile's tutorial for this, I don't remember what size bead he uses. It's like a 3mm gemstone maybe. These are my 2mm fire polish. So they work really well. I mean, I did it very tonal. It's all gold, but you could do like an ombre or a smattering of color in there, but those are beads through there. It just matches the wire perfectly because they're gold plated. So that is the whole shebang, guys. There's the beaded bead. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to have to make more. So that's going to happen. But those pearls are under glass pearls or check glass pearls. If you just search like glass pearl on the website, you should come across those pretty quickly. They're organized by color. There's 3 different round colors available right now. And each of those colors is available in 3 sizes. The 3mm, which we've got here, and then a 4 and a 6mm. So as always, if you guys are looking for these supplies and other things, you can find them at beadstoliveby.com. And the whole inspiration for this project was because we carry 2 different subscription boxes, one with 2 whole beads and one with seed beads. And then we offer add-on coordinating combinations of beads every month for those as well. And that is something that you can find under the curated collections on the website. If you guys are working on your projects from this video or other tutorials we've shared, or using your products you've gotten from us, you can always share those ideas in our Beads in Progress Facebook page. And we really, really love to see what you're working on. So thank you to everyone who is active and participates in there. Thank you so much, Becky, for joining me. This was a good time of day to do this. So normally I do videos on Wednesday nights, and I do have something planned for that this week. But the last 2 weeks, I don't think, well, I did my event with the Inspired by Sundance and our friends over at the bead place last Wednesday, and I haven't been on my regular schedule for our videos, so I might do a couple extra this week, including this one. We'll just see how everything else goes. But in the meantime, I will keep you guys up to date on our move and all the excitement that's going on there. And just again, I cannot tell you how much I appreciate your support right now. It is so helpful to have those orders coming in while we are working our behinds off to get things moved into our new space. So I hope you all have a beautiful day and the sun is shining like it is here in Jackson. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks. Bye.